Tuesday. Oh my goodness, I can sigh a relief. Tuesday is finally here. This is when we get to show out. No, we don't. This is when we get to really show how we get through day-to-day life, and that is by being in the highest vibe of positivity. I call it living in the purple. Welcome to Live Life in the Purple. Before I go any further, of course, I'm your host, M. Love, and to my left is a beautiful baritone. We call him Only One Tippy. He's associate producer. He's a writer. He's a performer.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful soul.
Keep going. Stop. Keep. Stop. Just stop. Please stop. Keep going.
I need to see some money fly my way, and I keep going.
Okay. I got some change. How y'all doing? We are back. Only One Tippy. We are back again with another week of Live Life in the Purple. We have Only One Speaks later on, and we have some good and some sad news. You know, I'm here. I have to report. But to my left, we have...
Hi, this is Marilyn. I'm the happy one. If you can be happier than this group is anyway. I am on the high level of happy because I stay with purple. I stay in the purple vibe, and I'm so glad to be here. Yes, it's Tuesday. Hooray.
And it doesn't help that Tippy bought us some Cuban coffee.
Yes, she did.
So she's happy, but she's a little amped up on top of that.
I'm bouncing off the walls.
Coffee is my legal drug of choice.
Now, you know, you guys, if you're familiar with the show, thank you so much for coming in again. We appreciate you very much. You know, this is the vibe we move in, and we get serious, we get silly, we get down with some music, and then we get back serious again. It's my personality. Just hang in there with me. We have beautiful guests that have taken their time to make their way to the studio, and one is Sunny. She's wrapped in yellow. She's wearing a button that says Queen because she is. I need y'all to give some love to Miss Sandy Pruitt. Yay. What's up, Sandy?
Hi, everybody.
Sandy is a consultant. She's also co-chairman of the nonprofit Trinity Awards this year. And she's just an amazing soul, and she's here to hang out with us and tell us how she does what she does. And I thank you for coming all the way up here. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Also, the Motherland is in the house. Motherland is in the house. I received emails from everybody, but I missed the date of something very important that I kicked myself for when I went back and checked my email. There was a debut album dropped, and there was some beautiful music that was a new word for me. It's called Afro Merge. Beautiful sound. I was like, who is this? And I reached out to a publicist, and so for that reason is why we have this beautiful soul sitting in front of me. Her name is Marita K. What's up, Marita K?
Hey guys, how are you?
All the way
Super
from
dope.
Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes.
And the music is so hot. I can't wait for us to get into it and get to know you. Welcome to the Purple.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Thank you.
So this is how we move, guys. Are you ready? Now, my segment is up first. Love Speaks, and I'm talking about Rumi. If you don't know him, he's an ancient poet, and we're going to talk about the subject is these pains that you feel are messengers. Listen to them. And to open us up and get us started on a musical theme, we have a queen that recently passed, so we're going to show her some love. So we're going to get to listen to one of my favorite songs by Aretha Franklin, Say a Little Prayer. Only One is going to talk about her a little later on, but for right now, she's going to open us up, and we're going to move in that vibe of queendom. We're going to celebrate who we are. We're going to listen to some good music. That team that's behind the mirror, David Williams and Omari, take it away. Hello, my Purple Nation. Live Life in the Purple is pleased to announce its new sponsor. We are now supported by Purple Door Creations. Purple Door Creations is an incubator for creatives. 5 brands under one roof. Purple Door Creations, making the world beautiful, one dream at a time. Today is a good day to believe in yourself.
Need to catch up on past episodes? No problem. Live Life in the Purple is on Mixcloud and now on iHeartRadio. Choose your favorite way to enjoy Live Life in the Purple because positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Hey, this is J.R. Reynolds from Eagle Visions Productions, and you're listening to M Love on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNX Radio Network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. I'll comb in my hair now, and wondering what dress to wear now. I say a little prayer for you. When I wake up, stay in my heart and now. Before I put on my makeup, I say a little together, in my hand now, and wondering what dress to wear now. I say a little, I would run for the bus, forever, for a while, riding out the other state, forever, together, take time, and on through my coffee break time. I say, ooh, I forever stay for a while, riding out forever, I say, together, I just take time, and on through my coffee break time. I say, need you. My darling, believe me. Answer my prayer, there is no
It has been said that there's a time for everything under the sun. Well, right now, sit back and relax, because it's time for Love Speaks with Them Love. So everyone has a language and that they communicate through. Some people are givers, some people are lovers, and I feel my way through life. And so I feel poetry especially, and I'm going to tell you how that developed. But where we're starting from today is a quote that I put up on Facebook that said, "These pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them." That's a quote by ancient poet named Rumi. And most people, when you say Rumi, they just go, yeah, because he was amazing. This guy wrote over 70,000 verses of poetry in over 25 years. And most of his poetry was about healing pain, which is probably why I gravitated toward it. He knew pain very deeply. He knew it. He had a tragedy in his life. His son murdered a holy man that was his beloved spiritual teacher. Wow. So he had a great loss there, and he got into that pain, and he wrote his beautiful thoughts for us. So like Rumi, I believe that we've got to embrace our dark struggles in order to heal our emotional pain and get to the happy. So today we're starting with, these pains that you feel are messengers. Listen to them. I am getting ready for a big change in my life. Next month, I'll be the Big 5-0. That's right, the Big 5-0. I made it. So instead of partying, introspection is where I go. My journey within started a long time ago, really back in my 20s, when I realized that I was doing my life the way everyone around me did their life, and that wasn't working for me. People seem to think and insist that the formula to a great and long-lasting, ridiculously happy life is to follow the formula of education, marriage, and children. And depression at that time was a luxury disorder. It wasn't in my community. I'm from rural Georgia. Depression was not something that working class people, poor people use. It was not. So I didn't hear that word used to describe anyone I knew. There was no space in my life to take time to regroup through life. What are you talking about? Life was about making a living, finding work, feeding and clothing your family. Point blank, very simple, down to the basics. So the examples of many of adults around me didn't include healthy stories of figuring life out. It was blind acceptance. It was covering things over with food, alcohol, or religion. Just a blind, it'll be all right, baby, one day. What about today? Can I be happy today? No one was willing to talk about things and work it out. Even personal differences was worked out in anger. My young child eyes saw these options to solving personal difference. Number one, if you had a problem with somebody, you silent. You go silent. You just stop talking to them. You talk to everybody else around you, but you don't talk to that person for a time. The second thing they did was boiling, simmering anger, and then explosion on the person you're upset with and then everybody else. The third thing they did was mask. They just swallowed it, denying that there was a problem. We're just gonna go on with life, just keep on moving, don't worry about it. None of these things work, folks. But a young child's mind doesn't know that. And children do what they see, not what you tell them. So I took on too much in my 20s, which should have been all about me as a young adult, free to explore and find myself. Instead, I put off education and invested myself in a relationship and people that were wonderful for them, but draining for me. I was in the mentality that a lot of people that have a problem of self-love that they're in, which is, I will burn myself up to keep other people warm. So a large portion of my 30s was spent backpedaling out of the life that I had created for myself, backing out of that relationship that served everyone else with me. Then my 40s seemed to be about seeking a new way to journey inside my way, a safer alternative than the self-destructive path I was on, hurting only myself, but not actually healing. And I wanted peace in myself, inside here. And you know something, people, I'm gonna be real with you, no one can do that but you. No one. Not a relationship, not a job, not money, not anything can bring you peace but you. And I thought I was ill-equipped. But was I? Are we ill-equipped? Well, I believe that what you seek, you already have. I discovered a voice that was a whisper inside of me that was getting louder and louder. Original thoughts, original music and movies and pictures was in my head as a child. I had no way to get them out. I thought they were just for me to entertain myself while I slept. I promise you, I thought everybody had a movie theater in their mind and saw original stuff every night. Those original thoughts came to be words, poetry. Writing became the way back to myself. That's why at this point, my poetry is all about lessons in the healing in the lessons through positivity. Now, I'm not trying to entertain you with my poetry. I want to give you something that saved my life. And at my level in this journey, poetry is my give back. It's the gift of vulnerability. It's a door that only the brave dare take. Once you walk through that door, you hold a space for people to just be and discover who they are. Once you listen to your pain messengers, once you see that the medicine is in the diagnosis, it is now your job to remove all barriers to feeling love, finally feeling self-love. Giving yourself full permission to love yourself, to love others, and to love life. And just love just for the sake of feeling love. All of these fears and all the barriers that you've placed there slowly start to melt away and you come to this beautiful place of being. Another quote I found was, it said, spiritual change is precisely a process that is bigger than you. You don't control it. You surrender to it. You don't reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself. You face yourself. And then you must let go of everything that you found. And there are many routes to this, people. I just encourage you to find one and take it. Okay, it's worth it. I think that if we're really genuine with ourselves and choose to face the truth head on, we can undo the damage that was done to us when we were innocent children. We were bystanders. We didn't know. In dark times, we can only be so prepared, and life will always have us facing things that we aren't equipped for, because life is counterintuitive. So we won't be equipped until the lesson is over. You won't have what you need until you go through it. So of course, we really have to learn the lessons twice, and then we become superheroes for dealing with that particular issue. Another quote, "I know you're tired, but come, this is the way." That's Rumi. A massive leverage point in personal growth is understanding and embodying the principle that the way out is through. There are no shortcuts in personal development. There are models and tools that are really good for understanding, but you still got to do the work. You got to get in there and handle yourself, your stuff. You can't let your personal and psychological and emotional growth just die because you don't want to go in there. Inside there's an awesome person. It's not in your DNA. You can reinvent yourself. You can do the work. There's massive help all around you. There's centers, there's programs, there's loving people, there are beautiful angels waiting to help you through this journey. I know it because I've been through it. I'm here, I'm living it. I've gathered myself and I've journeyed within and I've come out of it. Real talk, it's ugly, it's messy, it's a painful trip. It is not going to Disney, it is not. It's lonely, and it gets lonelier when you gotta stop and dump some baggage that you've been carrying on your back, that are people and their conversations and their intuitions and look into your life and what you should be doing. All that we got strapped all over us and we're trying to move towards something. My advice, dump them with the quickness, because this is about your mental well-being and the rest of your life. There is no value on you. There is no numerical value on you. You are of the stars. You are of the elements. No one can put a value on you. So I urge you to take every opportunity to find and work yourself through this so we can see who you are meant to be. You're beautiful. You're not going to get to who or what you're going to be living like that. Something's got to change. You got to change the process or find a process. Those who love you will be waiting for you on the other side or not. That's a possibility. Choose you. We're sometimes in our own way, and I'm happily reporting to you from that other side. On the other side of pain is freedom. The future looks bright for me in my new decade. Whoa, ow, see if I move too fast. See, that's what happens at 52. Stuff hurt, all I did was move. But we're gonna keep moving anyway. Hang in there to see how my decade turns out. I'm not going anywhere. The lessons from my life is a universal story I found. We can help each other through this. We are the walking wounded, but we are not victims. We are leaders. We're marching out of a darkness to a new day. That's my story. What's yours? Whether you write it, whether you sing it, whether you paint it, whether you color it, do it. Do it. Get it out there. Find a way to help someone else, and in the process, you're going to help yourself. And on that note, before I end, I'd like to tell you I'm holding up a paper. It's a project I'm involved in, and the group is called RISE. That's R squared, so R2ISE, theater, and theater has an RE on the end. So risetheater.org, that's our group. It's all about recovery. We have a group of people who have come from drug and alcohol abuse, who've come from abusive marriages, who've come from mental illness, all types of things, and we're there as a group, and we invite more. And what we do is we sing, we write, we paint our pain, and we're putting on our annual show. And this year, it's September 14th and 15th at 7:30 at the Art of Cultural the Dance Studio, Schwartz Center for Performing Arts on the Emory campus here in Atlanta. So there, you do have to reserve a spot. You can go to Eventbrite and look for Chronicles of Hope 2018. It's free, but you have to reserve a spot because there's limited space in the theater, and it's open to Emory students, so can you imagine how many people may fill it up? And none of our friends and family may come and see us do this. So come join with us, September 14th and 15th, 7:30 p.m. Go on Eventbrite and look for Chronicles of Hope 2018 and reserve a spot for yourself. It's either Friday or Saturday, so 2 nights. Come out and see how we play. Come out and see what I have to say about making my way out of the darkness. Come out and hear from my friends talk about getting over mental illness, wandering the highway, crazy, lost, and ended up in mental institutions. Come out and see how far we've come and how we've come back for others. I love you. I want to hear from you. If you're looking online right now on Facebook, you can type your comments in. We want to hear from you. Look me up on social media, Live Life in the Purple, or MLUVWALL, and let me know what you thought. But we've got a team of experts. These people have traveled the entire world to just come sit and hear me talk and give me their opinion. And we're going to get to that right after these messages. We'll be right back. I love you. I'm grateful you chose to listen to Love Speaks. This segment was developed with your and my well-being in mind. Please follow me on social media. I am MLUVWALL on Facebook, as well as Live Life in the Purple on Instagram and LLITP on Twitter. Additionally, please make sure to like IBNX Radio on all social media. Hey, remember when things get tough for you and you want to give up? No pressure, no diamonds. Happy living and peace to you.
Hi, this is Amina Kaplan. I'm a director and an actor and a choreographer. I'm hanging with M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Life comes at us fast. One thing that gives us comfort is knowing that someone is there when you need them. Well, at Pleasant Hills Insurance, that's our promise to our clients. Call 770-910-7460 today or visit our website at pleasanthillsinsurance.com for your free, no obligations quote on retirement and life insurance. Many of the large agencies have turned their back on the retired workforce. At Pleasant Hills Insurance, if others can't qualify you, very often we can. Pleasant Hills Insurance proudly provides options for preconditions. So call 770-910-7460 or visit pleasanthillsinsurance.com today for your free, no obligations quote on retirement and life insurance. Pleasant Hills Insurance, we're here when you need us.
Yeah, this Milk. You're listening to M Love Team Purple on Living Life in the Purple on IBNX Radio. Holla at me. I'm out.
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. That was Love Speaks. And now we're getting to the real good, where I get to hear what's in these folks' minds. So we're talking about that quote that we started out with from Rumi. These pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them. And I've got some beautiful energy in the room. Let me start with our beautiful guest in front of me, Ms. Pruitt. Sandy Pruitt. She's hanging out with us today. She is a consultant, and she has her own agency. She's also co-chairman of this year's the nonprofit Trinity Awards. Step up to the mic, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm just so excited about being here.
Yay!
Yeah.
We love excitement.
And happy birthday.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl. Child, give me some Bengay. Just put a nice bow on it. Some peppermint. You know, old folks got peppermints in their bag. And I'm not. I kicked 50 in the boom. I'm coming.
Hey,
Get ready for 80. I'm coming.
That's what I'm talking about.
So tell me, what did you think? This is your first experience with the show. What did you think of the Love Speaks? Do you have a comment?
Well, I've watched your show.
Okay.
And I've listened to your show before.
Awesome.
So this
Thank
is
you.
my first time being a guest.
Being here.
Being here. I really love what you're doing.
Thank you.
This particular poem by Rumi, I love the thoughts behind it. I think a lot of times we tend to, and I'm talking about our community, we tend to train our youth as we're coming up, our children, to not show their pain, to not show their depression. If something is wrong, you're told to put on a pretty face and put on a smiling face and don't let the world know anything about what's going on. But nobody tells you how to deal with it. You know, so you're walking around with this smile on your face, but these bricks on your back. And you continue to do that as you get older and older. And we begin to wonder why people just kind of strike out for no reason. And what we think is no reason, but it's really an accumulation of all this pain that they've had and never had a way to release any of it. And it gets to the place of just one day or one song or one word or one anything could be the catalyst to what gets
right.
that person to explode.
Especially our young men.
Exactly.
You know, I see, and I'm not a mother. I have raised children, assisted raising children. I'm not a mom, but I see people stop our young boys from crying, stop them from showing compassion, and say things like, if they're a single mom, you're the man of the house now. He's 8. He's not a man of the house yet. He can't handle that. Give him permission to be a child.
Exactly.
And play and have fun. And, you know, so I agree with that. And then the strong black woman image. There's a lot of strong black women engraved
I have
that could have been here a few years longer.
Yes, I have a 2-year-old nephew and a 3-year-old niece, and they're very close, and I spend a lot of time with them. And one thing their mom would tell my little nephew, the 2-year-old, if he's crying, stop crying, stop acting like a girl, you know, stop crying. And the 3-year-old, his sister, is sitting there, and I say to her, look, you're doing double damage by saying this. I said, first of all, you telling this child that by him showing his emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, frustration, that is something wrong with that. And it's something about not being a boy, it's about being a girl. And you're telling his sister, who's a girl, that it's something wrong with being a girl.
Right.
Because you're telling him to stop.
Two-edged sword.
Exactly. So, you know, we get all these mixed messages and have no way to deal with it. That's why when you see on the news a young black teenager who shot somebody or robbed somebody, but when that thrill is over, or that's gone, and they've been caught or whatever, that's when you see them break down.
Yeah.
That's when you see them cry, because nobody taught them how to deal with.
They don't know how to have a conversation. Hey man, you bumped my shoes, man.
Exactly.
My shoes. They don't know how to do that. It's everything is because here's a chance to take out all that aggression on somebody.
Right.
Let's move over here to this beautiful light. I gotta put my shades on. Just beauty all over in front of me. All over. And welcome, welcome to the show, Marinike. Did I say that right?
Marinike.
Marinike. Marinike. I just appreciate you so much.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you, and now I know why. I'm putting a face to the music. We're gonna talk about that, but. What did you think of the Love Speaks, and if you had any comments?
I thought it was so interesting. It was so fascinating because I was just having this conversation while I was in Nigeria about the way even Africans deal with depression and emotions and things like that. Because I remember growing up, and I remember saying to my friends, even after I came here, like, oh, you know, we don't commit suicide. We don't have depression. Depression is a luxury. That was like the idea at the time growing up, that Africans don't have depression. Nobody has time to be depressed. But after looking at statistics, and last year there was a huge mental health push for people to do research to find out how other people are dealing and stuff in African countries. The depression rates and the suicidal rates in Africa are literally almost exactly the same as America.
What?
Exactly. That was my reaction, because for years I grew up listening and also repeating the same rhetoric that Africans don't get depressed.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't commit suicide. Nobody has time for that. But apparently we
We
do.
do.
So I feel like now that people are starting to have those conversations, you know, our generation right now, especially as young Nigerians, everybody is really trying to come to grips with everything that has occurred in the past and how they can fix it in the future. And I love the fact that my generation right now is having all those difficult conversations that our, you know, our moms and our grandmothers were unable to have because of, you know, different cultural issues.
And because they
that
didn't have
occurred.
time.
Exactly, because they didn't have time. And that was
Right.
another thing, you know, I remember I was having a conversation with someone, and the person said to me, you know, after, you know, the African mother who is in well-to-do, whatever, she wakes up in the morning, has to walk hours to get water, come back home, feed her kids, all of that stuff, deal with so many things going around her. What time does she have to be depressed?
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, with everything that's been going on and with the awareness that's been, you know, shone, the light that's been shone on this issue, a lot of struggling, because there's no way, even beforehand, now that I think about it, why did we think that so much suffering wouldn't equal depression? It's actually kind of bizarre.
It is. It doesn't make sense, and you're
It's
right.
really bizarre.
Now, I don't go by labels, but do you consider yourself a millennial?
Yes, I consider
Okay.
myself a millennial.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good start. I know we're running out of time for this, Marilyn. You and Tippy want to add something to it. Your
Always.
input is very
Always.
important to me.
I love that you say that poetry saved your life, because that is what, when pain is a messenger and when we're in pain, we have to find that place that takes us to the healing. And you are healed through your poetry. The hard part is that it hurts. It hurts to go where we have to go in order to find the healing, and so that makes us step back and stand off it. And I also like that you went through your life in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, now you're going into your 50s. I believe that we do different things in our life. I'm always the oldest person in the room. I'm almost in my 60s. So it's a time of life. So we all have to wait for each other as well. I think that everybody's on their own journey, and we take our own time to do what we must do. So I say be patient with each other and be patient with ourselves.
Yeah.
Only one.
Who always
Another
has something.
millennial.
Well, I just want to start off saying I'm offended because you said older people keep peppermints in their bag, and I grabbed peppermints, put them in my bag before I left the house.
Accept it, brother. Accept
I'm just saying.
I got peppermint in my bag.
Hey,
I learned from
you
church.
old soul.
I
You
learned from
old soul.
church.
And your favorite person in the world next to your daughter is your grandmother.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
get it.
But I definitely want to say that was a powerful Love Speaks as always. But what really got me, and I know I'm running out of time, but what really got me is just like what all of y'all said, tapping into it. It is, as a child, I never had time to express my emotions, especially living with my dad. It wasn't that kind of environment. So everything that I go through now that I see is kind of detrimental, I hold it in. And a lot of people tell me, find a way to let it loose, da-da-da-da-da. But it's hard when it's something that was built into you,
Yeah.
So to those who are not in their 50s, not in their 30s, or maybe even I would say work on that now. Start today.
Yes.
It's never too late. It's never too late to start,
it's not.
but make sure you get the ball rolling on that. So I want to say I'm offended. I got peppermints, and thank you for the Love Speaks.
Thank you, guys. This is how we roll. You with me? Hang in there with me, okay? It's going to get even better because this team is dedicated. We're your cheerleaders, and we're your fans, okay? So this is how IBNX rolls. Coming up, we're going to get into this beautiful woman sitting in front of me. She's sunny bright. Her spirit is bright. And she got her queen button on. What? What? Coming back with our first guest, Miss Sandy Pruitt. Take it away.
IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get it. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Hi, this is Nathan Thomas, independent singer-songwriter coming to you from the UK. And you're listening to M Love on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNX radio network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Thank you so much for choosing purple as your vehicle the rest of your day, just for a little bit, couple of hours with us. Our first guest is sitting in front of me, beautiful Sandy Pruitt. We've been in touch by email for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was telling someone, I don't know how I met you. I meet so many people, and I'm like, how do I know you? I've been with you for 3 years, and I'm going, I'm so sorry. And you've sent me to events
Yes.
before, especially screenings and stuff like that. Thank you very much. In this year, are you always, or it says you're the co-chairman of the nonprofit Trinity Awards. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. I started with the Trinity Awards about 3 years ago. I was with People TV at the time, and we went to tape the awards. And I was so impressed with what Linda Horton was doing, who's the founder.
Last year, right? We talked about her last year. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, she's the founder. And so after we finished our taping for the station, I went to her and asked her, if she was looking for any volunteers, that I would like to help her with what she was doing, because I really believed in what she was doing. And from there, I'm where I am now.
All right.
Yeah.
What is the Trinity Awards?
The Trinity Awards is a nonprofit organization whose main purpose is to put the spotlight and show recognition to the small nonprofits, organizations, and volunteers that's in the community. And these are the people that are in the trenches dealing with the day-to-day problems, not the Red Cross, not the United Way, but the ones that when you're hungry, you can go and you can get groceries. When you need shoes for your kids, you can go get shoes.
So you're saying that these nonprofits are right around there in our community?
These are the nonprofits right in your community. These are the what we call the mom and pop nonprofits that doesn't have budgets, that 95% of what they do in keeping their organizations afloat comes from their pocket.
Wow.
I know nonprofits that feed the hungry and they feed them from their pocket, you know, but they will go out and they'll feed 100, 200 people over the weekend, but they find a way to do it. So these are the nonprofits and the volunteers, the everyday people you see, and you wonder why this lady's always giving people a ride. She's a volunteer. And she's doing that, and she's putting gas in her car, and she's taking these people to the doctor or wherever they need to be. And nobody ever gives them recognition, and Linda thought it was important that they be recognized. Couldn't give them any money, you know, but you can give them recognition. You can let them know that you appreciate it. And so that's what we do. This is the 7th year that we've been doing it.
Okay.
It's grown tremendously. This year we had over 200 nominations, people, organizations nominated. We had people from St. Louis that was nominated, from Alabama, from Florida. So something that started out as being a local way to show appreciation over the years has begun to grow and grow, and more people, thanks to social media. More and more people are becoming more aware of the nonprofit. We have people that call and contact, can I come and be a presenter? Because we have the people in the community, whether it's a state representative or the girl next door, to come and be a presenter to present the awards to the different organizations. So people are calling and emailing, can I be a presenter? I would love to be a presenter. We have people calling to volunteer. How can I volunteer? How can I help?
Wow.
So it's a very good thing that Linda has done, and it's beginning to pick up recognition from not just the people in the community, but we have government officials that's beginning to recognize the role that these small organizations are playing in our lives, and they're supporting what we're doing, so that's a good thing.
I love it. I love the spirit behind it. I was talking to one of the engineers, David, earlier before the show started about awards and how I've always shied away from that because the work is what fuels me, not the award or anything like that. What would you say? Because these people are not doing it for recognition.
Exactly.
They're going to do it whether
they're recognized,
whether Linda
or not.
invented, that
Exactly.
or not. So have you seen things, is it a good thing, do you think, or?
It's definitely a good thing. We've had people that have been nominated, people that have been recipients of the awards in the past to come back to us and say thank you, but because of that recognition, they were able to be recognized by other people. And when I say recognized, it's because somebody didn't know that's what she was doing. So now they are making donations to her, and they're volunteering their time to this organization, whoever it is. Excuse me. Last year, one of the organizations that won was Reimagine Atlanta, which is a organization that works with school-age kids, high school kids, teaching them television and movie production.
Wow.
Okay, and these kids are out here learning how to produce their own commercials, produce their own movies, use their iPhones, use the they're doing so many extraordinary things. And because somebody nominated them and they've gotten that recognition, more people are aware of who they are and what they are doing. So it is so many, and what we're finding out is that a lot of our nominees, whether they are winners or not, they ended up being nominated. I see all the time what they are nominated for something that somebody else is beginning to recognize them
Awesome.
in what they're doing. So it makes a difference because we do get a lot of feedback from the nominees and the recipients telling us how much being recognized has helped, not them personally per se, but help
Right.
their organization and help them to fulfill the mission of their organization.
I love
And
it.
if we can help somebody fulfill their mission, then I think we're doing the right thing.
And, you know, I want to be I'm transparent. You've changed my mind about these type of awards or awards, period. Because I didn't look at it that way. You know, when you do stuff out of love and just, you're going to do it, and because it's, like I said, part of healing, you don't look for rewards and stuff like that. So I see how important it is, and I appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah.
I have one more thing for you. We have another segment that involves you. Yeah, you too, so watch. I'm just joking. It's called Speak On It. Speak On It, we've heard you talk about, you know, what you're doing, but this is more personal. I'm going to read a statement to you, and then you give me your thoughts on it. She's scared.
No.
I love this part. They're like, oh, what can I not say? Okay. Quit letting who you were talk you out of who you are becoming. Quit letting who you were talk you out of who you are becoming. Speak on it.
Wow, that is like that was written exactly for me.
It always is.
I have a little plaque in one of my bathrooms that says, the day the bird took wings and was able to soar without fear. And I think that's what that means. A lot of times we are afraid. I know a lot of times I was afraid. I didn't want to, kind of like you, I felt like if I was doing things, people would think I was trying to shine or outshine or outdo something, and so I would hold back and not do some of the things that I wanted to do, or not say some of the things I wanted to say, not get involved. And then I realized the person that I'm cheating the most was myself. And because I was holding back for myself, then I'm cheating you also.
Exactly.
Because I'm not giving you the full benefit of who I am and what I offer. So I truly think that we get caught up in that.
Yeah.
And we have to find the inner strength and the inner peace with ourselves to be able to step out from under that and just let our light shine and be okay with our light shining. Because I think most of the time we so afraid for our light to shine. We so afraid.
I get it. You're right. You're so right. Your company that let's see.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah,
What's the name of your company, and what do you do?
My information says Sandy is a public relations and community development guru. So, SC Pruitt Consulting Agency.
Okay, what I do is basically small business and nonprofit development. I work with nonprofits, people who want to start nonprofits, help them start it. People already running nonprofits, help them to sustain it, build their nonprofits up to another level. I've been doing this for about, about 20 years now.
Wow.
And I started because when I started my first nonprofit, I wasn't able to get any questions answered by anybody. Everybody was afraid to answer questions or to help. And I made myself a promise that once I got to the position to where I could offer any knowledge to other people, that I would do it. Because it should not be that hard for somebody who wants to give to be able to give.
Everything that we do, I'm going to take a moment to say that everything that we do at the show has heavy synchronicity involved. Heavy things, from the words that are chosen to the buttons and everything. I just had a conversation last night with a young man. He's probably listening now going, we talked about this last night. He called me and asked for help. how could I help them? And I said, I can't help you with your nonprofit. I can find someone who can. And because we traveled to Greenville to help with an initiative, do poetry for homeless women. It was called Sunday Dinner with a Twist, and that's what they do out of their pockets. They create dinner for the women that are in homeless situation or are in homes coming out of various stages of whatever, because they were once homeless. And he had a vow. His name is Red Martin, 2 Ds. Red Martin.
He was our guest last month.
Guest. And they've been having us poets come in to Greenville to bless the mic and say something encouraging to these women. And when they were here, I said, you guys need a nonprofit, you know. And so they called last night and was like, can you help us? Mm-hmm. And so now I can have someone. It happened the very next day, and I didn't even know that about you. I had the information, but it didn't click.
And that's
so
what I do.
Things happen for a reason.
It is amazing because we asked you what you do, and that's what you said you do, and that isn't said in what your description is.
Yeah,
so
but
the blessings
this way,
abound
yeah.
when we are in the right energy, when everything we need is right in front of us.
Everything.
And it's a blessing to have you here, and thank you.
Well, like I said, I've really, really enjoyed myself being here, and I really appreciate you guys having me here. You know, I might be on the other side over there with Love next time.
Whoa! Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
Let's go. You ain't said nothing but a word.
IBNX has plenty of room for people who want to be on that side, and it's
That's
not
right.
hard, and we'll mentor you and support you and help you.
Oh,
it's an
wow.
awesome place to be,
It really
and a
is.
great way to provide information to people who need your help, which is what you are. You are a resource. You are a beautiful, giving resource. I have no idea how you can afford to do what you're doing because everyone you're helping is trying to find money as well.
Exactly.
But you've been doing it for 20 years. Remarkable. Thank you for your
I learned
giving
a long
heart.
time ago, there's different types of richness. You know, there's different types of wealth. And I get my wealth. I would love to have lots of money and, you know, big house and big cars and, you know, all of
I would love to have that so I can borrow from you
know,
too.
But then, when I start thinking about having it, you know, I said if I won a lottery, all I start thinking about who will I help? How will I help?
Yes.
You know, so, you know, I think, you know, you get wealth from within, you know, and from giving it. It's not always about dollars and
cents.
Yeah, it's about, you know, if I can look in the mirror and smile, not just because I'm cute, but smile because I feel like I did something,
Yeah.
you know, good.
Yeah.
You know, I think that makes a lot of difference. If I
Yeah.
lay my head down and go to sleep at night and I'm at peace, I'm good.
We got a moment, and we're going to come back to you, so don't think we're going to ignore you as we move on. But can you tell us some of the organizations that's up for nomination this year?
Oh, wow.
If not, you can give it to us later in the show.
I'm just trying to think of some of them.
Okay.
Butterflies, what is it, Lady? But I don't want to give a wrong
I know.
name out.
So get
Give me-
just, and I'll make sure you get an opportunity to
Okay.
list so we can know who to look out for.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys.
You hanging out with us, or you gonna hit traffic?
I'll hang out for a little bit.
Okay.
Let me just say this really fast.
Sure.
The Nonprofit Trinity Awards is it's this coming Sunday. Red carpet starts at 5 o'clock. The award starts at 6 o'clock. The Ray Charles Performing Arts Center on Morehouse campus this Sunday, August the 23rd.
August the 23rd for the Nonprofit Trinity Awards. Miss Sandy Pruitt, your consultant, your co-chairman of this event. She's been doing this. It's been going on for 7 years. 7 years right here in our city, recognizing nonprofits. Thank you for what you do. Thank Ms. Linda Booker as well.
What is a website we could go to find out more information about the Trinity Awards?
It's the nonprofittrinityawards.org.
Perfect.
Yeah, Nonprofit Trinity Awards.
And that's on August 23rd,
August
here in
23rd,
Atlanta.
Here in Atlanta.
Okay.
Morehouse campus. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
All right. We've got more coming to you. We've got some top of the hour announcements. And do you want me to go ahead and do that, or are we gonna?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the announcements. Let's go straight to our top of the hour invitation to stay with us. We hope that you've had a great time so far, and we're looking forward to the next step in Live Life in the Purple, which is a lot more fun too. We have a great guest. Tell us about our guest, M. Love.
Oh my gosh, what else dare to say? Her debut album, I'm gonna Aji Bata. I love it because she sings it in the song Ajibata, Ajibata. And I love what that word means. We're going to get into what that means, but she is Marinike.
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 Marinike. She's a Nigerian singer-songwriter and who thankfully lives with us here in the ATL. So we're going to talk about her music. We're going to talk about her beautiful roots from her country, and also the cultural influences that has this beautiful sound that she brings to us. Afro Merge. I want to learn what that is and her influences. So we've got some work for you. You've got to get tickets to go to the Trinity Awards, and also you've got to download Ajibata. But I don't want you to take my word for it. We're going to hear some of her music and talk to her when we come back.
Can you spell Ajibata?
Oh, I'll let.
It's AJE and butter.
I love it. AJE and then butter. So we've got that. Also, Only One Speaks is coming up later on and with his segment. And Positive News is before that. We scour the internet and local papers to find the best news for you, because we want this to be an oasis from bad news. There's good news going on all around us every day, all around the world. I want to tell you that I have a feature in Alabama coming up the day after my birthday, as a matter of fact. So September the 9th, this team will be in Alabama, and Peerless Poetry is the venue. They are amazing. They're amazing, and so I can't wait. Thank you, Flanardo. So I don't expect y'all to come down the road with me, but just know that I'm bringing the energy with me, and they're going to get some love from M Love. So I'm looking forward to that. So let's take a quick break, and then we've got positive news.
Yes, we do. Positive news at the top of the hour, and we're here at Live Life in the Purple on IBNX Radio Network.
It's your boy Trey Grizzly from Word of Mind Radio, and I appreciate you tuning in to IBNX Radio, but you're listening to M Love and Live Life in the Purple. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
At Rise, we embrace our recovery. We are restored, inspired, supported, and we are evolving. We paint away our depression, dance away our anxiety, sing through our cravings, and live our way into better lives. Join us for our performance, Chronicles of Hope, our celebration of recovery, this September 14th and 15th on the Emory campus in Atlanta, Georgia. Visit our website, www.r2isetheatre.org. Rise is sponsored by Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, One Small Change, and Emory Dance and Movement.
Hi, this is Aubrey Regal, and you're listening to M Love and Graham Allen and Only One Tippy on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNX Radio Network. Positivity is a movement, baby.
Welcome to Positive News, a place to hear the news that brings a smile, focuses on accomplishments, and sheds light on positivity in our world.
Welcome to Positive News. This is Marilyn, and this is a segment that M Love created for me because I'm super positive all the time. And I'll tell you what, it isn't like this happened overnight. This was a journey. I work really hard at being positive, and it's not because I just say positive things. It's because I change the way I think. And so I am the owner and the person that makes this positive, the person that makes this happy. But M Love is really good at finding positive news, and it was her idea. She's an awesome person who supports all of us on our platforms, and I appreciate that about you, M. Thank you so much for giving this positive segment a try. So I know that you brought us a positive news story, and I'd love to hear it. Will you go first?
I sure will.
I have one too.
This one hit home for me because as I just spoke, if you were tuned in with us earlier, I just told you about our friends in Greenville, South Carolina, that we journeyed down to Sunday to do poetry for Sunday Dinner with a Twist. And my portion of the poetry was talking about my journey from years of being in love with the idea of suicide ideation and depression and stuff like that. And I made it through that, and so I speak about that. Then I found this story where a teenager helped save 6 lives by leaving more than 40 notes with supportive messages on a bridge that people were famous. It was famous for people jumping off of. This was in the UK. Paige Hunter, she's only 18. There's a bridge, Wearmouth Bridge. She put these notes that had messages for people who are in a mental health crisis or feeling vulnerable or suicidal, and she helped save 6 lives. The city gave her a commendation for it. The chief said that it's important to recognize what she's done. She says, for somebody so young, that's really a good value to have, and for us and for mental health teams across the country, it could mean that they can access what they need and recognize that there are options for them and to support them as they go through lives. She made a change. She made a difference in people's lives. And the young girl said, I just want to help people. She said, I wasn't really doing it for an award. I was just doing it to help people. Her mother, her parents are very, very proud of her. People were brought to tears reading some of the things that she had put up on the bridge. Can you imagine if you go, you're at the bottom, you're at the bottom of the bottom, and you go and you think about what you're gonna do and where you're gonna do it from, and the mental energy it takes to get there, first of all, and then you read something that stops you in your tracks. Someone has left a sign that said, you matter, you're important, I love you. Things like that stopped people in their tracks and gave them time enough to ask for help. It's a beautiful gesture. It means that you don't have to have a lot of money to reach out to someone else to save lives. All you have to have is the willingness and the spirit. And this young lady at 18 years old had that spirit and has saved lives and has given people a second chance. So I just thought that Paige Hunter from Sunderland, UK, you needed a shout out. Thank you for doing that.
And what I like about that story is what you were talking about in Love Speaks is the pain. The message is in the pain. And even though this is a story about people who jump off bridges and commit suicide, it's a place where someone has taken that pain and changed it into something else. And maybe she didn't save every life,
right,
but she saved enough. And
everyone
it's
is
beautiful.
Important.
That's
yeah.
right. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it to us.
Okay, what you got? What you got?
Well, I've got a story that you also were excited about. It has to do, I think, with, if I could tie it into what Sandy is talking about and all the small nonprofits and how everyone wants to do a little bit, like Red and Sunday Dinner with a Twist. They just feed people dinner and treat them well and offer them poetry. We all have something to provide, and we all can do little things. And you would think, well, I want to save the world. Well, how about if we just save one person, or we save a little village, or we do what we can? So this is a story about a teacher in Barali village in Udupi's district, Brahmavar Taluk. And that's in India, so I probably crucified those words. But he is not only their science and math teacher, but right now he is their bus driver. So he was noticing as a teacher in this school that children were dropping out. They were not coming anymore. And this is an elementary school. And he was concerned about that as a teacher. And what it was the children had to walk, mostly the girls were the problem, walk 3 kilometers each way, which is almost 2 miles, through the woods on a muddy path, through the forest, not woods, but the forest, to get to school. And it was just too scary for their parents and to send the children. And it was dangerous, it was not good. So he was concerned about all the children that were dropping out. Not only that, but so many people were dropping out that the school was at risk for being closed because there wasn't enough attendance. For the little bit that it was supported by the government, it was about to be closed. So he decided to do something to get children to school. He went back to people who used to go to that school, to alumni, and he asked them for funds and resources. One of them was VJ, and together they collected enough to buy a school bus. And with that bus, now that they had it, they fixed it to as best they could, but they didn't have a driver. So he Rajaram went and got his driver's license to drive school buses. And then he worked it out with the teachers. There's like 3 teachers there in the school. He worked it out where he would go and pick the children up every morning, get them to school by 9:30 on time, and then they could stay for school, and then he would take them home. This was magnanimous of him because he also pays for the gas, and he's only on a teacher's salary, a public school teacher's salary in India, which wasn't much. But everything in him told him he had to get these children to school, and he did what it took. Now he is working on what he says is his next project is to construct a track for the school. Because when students have something to come to school for beyond just learning, like sports, then they'll be more inspired and encouraged and supported in getting there. This is a man that I love that you picked this story, because this is a man doing everything he can with whatever he has and going out of his way to above and beyond, because he believes that these children need to be educated. If they're not educated, they will be uneducated village children, and there's nothing in life for them.
And it's boys and girls.
Right. It's boys and girls.
It's boys and girls, and so these I just saw the little brown faces, and I just went, I was like, oh my God. I just loved it. I loved that somebody looked out for them, you know.
And he did, and he does. He cares as a teacher, which is above and beyond what a teacher needs to do. I mean, you show up and you teach and go home, but he really wanted them to be there. He said that it was down, the enrollment was down to 50, but now it's up to 90 since he's getting the kids into the schools. So kudos to this man, but more than anything, I think this is an example of how we can look around in our own lives, in our own communities, and say, what can I do? First of all, what's important to me? Because if we do things that aren't important to us, we're not going to have the passion and the energy to sustain following through. So what is important to us? What really hits our heart? What creates passion and brings energy? And then take a step in that direction to begin. I believe in nonprofits. I believe in the fact that abundance is everywhere. Everything we need is in front of us, and there's plenty for all in this world. There's no reason for anyone to be hungry or to go without education or to be without life's necessaries. And so with that, each of us have our own responsibility to find out what it is we need to do to support others around us.
All right.
Is that positive enough?
That's positive.
I do believe. So with that, we thank you for joining us today on Live Life in the Purple for positive news, and come back every week. This is a regular segment of positivity. It's a movement. I hope that you enjoyed positive news and that the stories put a smile on your face. We here at Live Life in the Purple encourage you to be inspired to create your own positive news in the world. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Hi, this is Nicole Regal in Lexington, South Carolina, and you're listening to M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple on IBNX Radio Network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Plan your next occasion with Four Marie's Catering and Events. With their team of 4 beautiful hostess, Four Marie's focuses on excellent service, delicious food, and lasting memories. Let Four Marie's make your next occasion memorable without all the stress. Before you plan your next occasion, give Four Marie's a call. No occasion is too big or too small. Use promo code IBNX10 for 10% off your first event. Call 404-474-2600 or visit 4mcatering.com today.
Designer Adam Sachs, and I'm hanging with M Love and Team Purple on IBNX Radio. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
If music is a healer, then if poetry is a healer, then so is music. And I've said this a few times. I thought that I couldn't get excited about music anymore when Prince passed away. I just went there. But I've been proven wrong. I get excited about music, and I especially get excited when I see a young woman put out such quality music like I've seen in Miranda Kay.
Thank you.
It has been described, her music, as an eclectic mix, rich African culture meshed with Western European subtext and overtones. You compare, you tell us your sound is, the only one I was familiar with was Freddie Mercury of Queen, which was, I was like, okay, I gotta hear this. If it's Queen, because that was, you know, he was a god back then. And the 90s girl group, Spice Girls. The title of the album is Ajibata, Ajibata, which is an interesting word. Let me go ahead and let Marina K do some talking. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm good, thank you.
Did I get it right? Is that?
Yes, it's Ajibata, but I love the way
Ajibata.
Americans say it.
You say Ajibata?
Which is why I never like correct them, because they want to. I feel like Americans, they want to make it fancy, so they go Ajibata, and I'm like, oh yes, definitely.
How do you say it?
I say Ajibata.
Ajibata, because it's a word that you're familiar with. Tell us what it
Yes.
means. I love what it means.
So it pretty much means I eat butter. And it comes from a time back in the day when only a certain percentage of people had electricity in their homes because of class differences.
Okay.
So if you had electricity in your home, you could obviously eat butter. That meant your life was somehow easier, you know, and you were well-to-do because you could afford to eat butter.
Gotcha. I gotcha. I
Yes.
gotcha. So Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes.
That's where you're from. I have a couple of friends from Lagos, and the first time I got invited to an African home for dinner was they were from Lagos, Nigeria, and I thought, can I move in here? The food was so good. First time I had fufu. But tell me about your home. Tell me about your country.
Yes, I'm just coming back from Lagos right now. We just went through the Ajibata press tour, and it really is just, every time I go home, it's always just like a breath of fresh air, because you're just surrounded by all of these things that are so familiar, you know, the fashion, people speaking like different Nigerian languages. There's some times where I would just open my window just so I could hear people converse like in Yoruba, even though my Yoruba isn't even that great, but just the idea like, okay, wow, I'm actually back here. It's always like an experience going back all the time.
Wow.
Yes.
So you were, how long have you been in the States? Like before were you born here?
Well, no, I only came here for college. I
Okay.
wasn't born here. And I've been here since, I graduated college at about 16. My mom wanted me to go
You
to
mean high school?
Oh, sorry, high school. At
Oh, about to
16.
say.
No.
Genius sitting in front of me.
The
Okay.
reason why I say college is because my high school was called Chrisland College.
Okay.
So
Got
there's always that bit of a disparity. But yeah, so I graduated high school at 16. My mom wanted me to go to a smaller university when I came here, just because she felt like being from a different country and being so young, she didn't want me to be overwhelmed. So I went to Mount Ida College in Boston for like 2 years. And then afterwards, I transferred to the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, which is where
Okay.
I graduated from with a degree in criminology,
Uh-oh.
concentration, crime, and justice.
Really?
Yes.
That's
All right.
interesting.
That is very
Yes.
interesting. Very interesting. Are you going to work in that, or is this just something to fall back on? Or?
Yeah, so my mom was just very adamant that if she was going to support my dream, I had to do something serious.
Yeah.
So something.
Your dream is not
real.
serious? Is that what Mama said?
Well, at the time, you know, I mean, music is so iffy, and you never know. It could take forever for you to get a break. It could take a lot of, you know, financial sacrifices and things like that. So my mom just, in the worst case scenario, just didn't want me to have like
Yeah.
nothing in hand.
Yeah.
You know, and even the fact that an African parent was like supporting me in a musical dream was
That's what I
already
was
like
thinking.
a huge deal.
They don't lie in bed at night going, whatever she chooses to do,
No,
she'll be happy. They go, no, she's
absolutely
gonna
not.
do this. They're gonna do that.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. I'm just lucky because my mom grew up very liberal. So my mom was already different from most of my friends' parents. She was already just a very liberal parent. Like even just being so open, being accessible, you could talk to her about anything. That was so weird for my friends because you know, African parents, there's like a curtain and they're just things like you just don't discuss, and they're just lines that you just never cross. So, you know, having her kind of be, especially now when I went to Nigeria, she momagered me while I was there. So that was so fun. And every time like she would show up to me with, you know, at places, at performances, at TV, everybody would be so surprised. That's your mom? Your mom came with you? It was like a huge deal. So I'm just so grateful for that.
Wow, so you are very, very much favored. Like
Thank you.
you're
Thank
yeah,
you.
you showed favor. I love it. I love it. Who writes your music?
I write my music.
You write your lyrics?
Yes, I write all my lyrics, and I
Wow.
arrange and I co-produce everything because I'm a control freak.
You're a control freak.
That's all right.
I love it. So you work hard to get what you hear in your head, your vision,
Yes.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't trust that to anybody else.
Well, I'm very specific. Like, I'm the type of person where I'm going to do it 100 times for it to be great. And I just find, like, with a lot of things, it's never right unless you do it by yourself. Never, not taking away from anybody, but, sometimes it's only you that can execute your vision.
Okay,
or,
Beyonce. Because as you grow, you're going to have to give up some of that.
I've been told that a lot, but I think right now I'm just enjoying being in charge of a small operation, especially just so I can learn so much and experience so much, because I feel like that's like the most important thing. This is such a learning based industry. You want to constantly just keep sponging off people as far as experience and advice and things like that.
Well, guys, you've heard her, you've seen her. I want to hear some music.
I do too.
Tell us. We've got Smooth Operator now.
Yes.
It reminds you of Sade from my generation, but this is very much a powerful woman album.
Yes,
so
it is.
how does this song
Definitely
relate to that theme?
Well, so I'm a self-professed womanist, and I wanted to create an album that was kind of anti what African women are typically supposed to be. You're supposed to be a certain way. You're supposed to be demure. You're supposed to kind of be like in the background and let the man shine. And just being inspired by other, modern day African women, Chimamanda, a whole bunch of people who are out there and coming to the forefront and being and not being passive and being in control of their bodies and themselves and their minds, and it was just so inspiring. So I was like, I want to create an album that pretty much had that feel of female empowerment and being able to stand up and say, this is what I believe and this is what I want to do, and pretty much coming into your own voice.
Okay.
That was really important to me.
All right.
So the album is always, the female or the woman is usually the one setting the tone and setting the pace in every single song. Whether she's the one approaching the guy, whether she's the one,
right.
Whether she's the one dismissing the guy, she's always in control of her shit.
Okay,
So.
in your world.
In my
on Ajibata.
Right. And I just want women to always feel that way. I want women to always feel like, because in Nigeria it's so easy, and especially in African countries, it's so easy to always relinquish our power to the men. So I always wanted women to kind of feel like they were still in control of something. What they were listening to.
Gotcha. All right. This is Smooth Operator off of her debut album, Ajibata.
Yes.
And this is Marinake.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't look at me like you don't know. Don't look at me like you don't know. Bands on mine, bands on mine, bands on mine, bands on mine. Say you be cool operator, smooth operator, brand new operator, yes. See my bands on mine, bands on mine, bands on mine, bands on mine, on mine, on mine. Cool Ajibata, smooth Ajibata, brand new Ajibata, stay true to your body. Don't look at me like you don't know. Don't look at me like you don't know. I got bands on my line, got bands in my area, oh, in my area, oh. No worries on my mind, don't know what to tell ya, oh, what to tell ya, oh. I remain too cool, I remain too fly. Come correct, 'cause I got no time. the butter, stay true to your butter. That's my motto. You can't sit on my motto. That's my motto. You can't chill on my motto. Well, I'm a smooth operator. Cool at the butter. You at the butter fresh. Cool at the butter soft. Don't look at me like you don't know. Now they look me like you don't know. To me, now my swag too clean. To me, now my swag too clean. Brand new, brand new. Hey you, yes you are the butter. Yes, 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 you are the butter. Yes, you are the butter.
I'm Marina K. Hey, ladies. Ladies, you too can be a smooth operator. Marina K said so. I love it. I love it. And I know there's a remix.
Yes, there is. There is. It's so funny because the remix is for... People tell me that the remix and the original song are for two completely different people. Like, this song is very, it's very Nigerian, but it's still kind of islandy and stuff, while, like, the remix is, like, straight up Afro trap. So...
we gotta play that. We're gonna have to play it, not today, because we don't have it loaded
Right,
up, but
yeah.
oh my God.
Probably have to play that one after 7 p.m.
Oh,
because-
yeah.
Funny enough, though, it's cleaner than this one.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Afro Merge.
Yes.
Talk about that. What is it?
So Afro Merge is pretty much a combination of Afro pop, neo soul, and R&B. Growing up, I was exposed to different kinds of music. My parents made sure I listened to kind of everything. You know, they're both. My father is a musical prodigy. He can teach himself how to play instruments. He can, he just like wakes up and like decides I want to play the guitar and can teach himself how to do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So and they expected a lawyer out of you?
Well-
No, you're gonna be a musician. You're gonna be a musician that know how to sue people.
Well, the thing at the time was when I first started being interested in music seriously when I was about 15 years old. Even though my parents were in the industry for years and produced a lot of great male acts at the time, there were no real female artists for me to look up to.
Mhm.
And at the time, there was still that stigma that, music was still something that was iffy and kind of unserious. So even though I know I wanted to be an artist, I kind of battled it, and I wanted to be I said verbally, I wanted to be everything else but. I wanted to be a forensic pathologist at one point. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon. I say all the time, like, if I was great at math, I'd probably have been an astronaut or something.
Yeah.
So I remember being in SS3, which is 12th grade here. And my friend and I, we had to write our final essays on what we wanted to do and what we wanted to be. And I literally could not fill in that blank with anything because...
it's too much. It's
Right.
too
It
broad.
was like I have a lot of different things I could do, and I'm good, thank God, I'm good at a lot of different things. So, but I knew I wanted to be an artist. I just didn't want to verbally say it, because if I said it, that would mean I was acknowledging it. That would mean I would have to pursue it. It would mean a lot of different, it would have a lot of different implications.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You're saying you want to be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that if you say it, you have to do it, or people expect you to do it? Which one?
It's a bit of both,
Okay.
because no one can put as much pressure as I put on myself.
Right.
So if I say I want to be an artist, I have to be the best freaking artist out there. If I say I want to be an artist, I have to.
You are a powerful woman.
Thank you.
Why? We all are, but you know it.
Thank
you
you.
know the power. And a lot of us are walking around don't know that we have that power.
Right.
So that's amazing.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 25. Yeah. I'm
Wow.
25.
Well, welcome to the next 25 years.
Please.
Wow,
I had like
that's
a
awesome.
mental breakdown when I found out I was turning 20. Only because when you're somebody who wants to do so much, you feel like you're running out of time for some strange
check
reason.
50. Check 50.
So-
but I'm checking the infinity box.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I can't
they're
even
going to find me in
believe
this chair. Like, I ain't going.
Literally having conversations with people about how when I was 21, when I was 20, like, that feels so strange to say still. But I guess also turning 25, being at this for a while and learning so much and growing so much, I really wouldn't exchange or wish I had gotten it quicker or faster, because when there's dignity in suffering. And when you have to suffer for something and work hard for something and sweat and cry about it and go through everything, when you actually get it, it's such an amazing feeling. Having my album come out with everything I had been through, with knowing the process. I'm just a girl from Lagos, like, no idea that I would really be pursuing this for real. So at that day when I wrote down I wanted to be an artist, and I remember my best friend at the time was like, you know what? Go and write a song. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, go write a song. See if it's naturally in you because you've been fighting it for years. Go attempt to write a song, and then whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
So I went back to my dorm when I went to boarding school. And, I get out my pen and my paper, and I write my first song ever. And, like, it is a full-fledged, like, I'm talking chorus, first verse, second verse, arrangements, everything. And I go and I sing it for her, and she's like, yeah, you're supposed to be an artist. Just write it down. Write down. Just write down artist.
What a good
and
friend.
I guess, from then on, I just, again, like I said, I had to take it seriously. So then, I was pestering my parents, put me in the studio, recording demos, looking for producers. And at the time, being 15 and young in Nigeria, it was weird. Like, I would show up to meetings with producers and people would be so like, oh, okay, because it was odd at the time. So it's been an interesting journey, and I definitely feel like, Ajibata is just like the icing on the cake.
What I loved about Ajibata is that you took a slur, something that is said to you to make you feel bad.
Yes.
And to mock something that you can't help.
Right, exactly.
And you took it and made it mean something different for you.
Yes.
And so, there's a little bit of, where do they see me now? Kind of in there. For me, it is, but how does Africa receive you?
Well, that's the thing. So it's important. It was important for me to call the album Ajibata just based on my upbringing, because that was what I was called all my life. That is what I was dismissed.
It's like bougie for us.
Exactly. But the fact that, I sound the way I sound, like I have a foreign accent, or, I sound different, even that in itself was enough to make me, be teased and be laughed at and all of that stuff. So even going back to Nigeria now, there is still, after my press tour, going through the process, meeting people, like I would be in interviews and people would be like, oh, be prepared for the accent. Oh, be prepared for how she sounds. Oh, she's not a typical Nigerian girl. Oh, this girl is here. She's speaking for, that's something I have to deal with all the time. And the reason why I called my album Ajibata is because when I went to boarding school, I saw loads of kids who kind of grew up the way I grew up, and they would get in situations and try to pretend to be harder than they were, or pretend to be more street than they were, or pretend to be different just so they could fit in and not be teased. And I just refused to do that, because I'm like, if I'm not used to doing something and that's not my life, I'm not going to pretend it's my life. So the entire point of calling the album Ajibata is just telling people, well, be proud of who you are, be proud of where you come from, be proud of your struggles, your parents' struggles, because I don't think your parents worked so hard, or worked as hard as they did to give you the better things in life, only for you to come back and be ashamed of how you grew up.
There's a saying that said, people are going to throw bricks.
Right.
Catch those bricks and build a foundation for
Yes,
yourself
girl.
to stand on.
Yes.
Ooh.
So you can either let them
I was
help.
gonna say throw them back. You better than me. Yeah. Let me sit over here in the corner. I'll be quiet.
So you can either let them hit you and knock you out, or you
Right.
can catch them and build.
Right.
And you did that.
Right.
So that's a very, very good example.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, how are Americans receiving you?
Well, Americans love the different. They love, just even out of the curiosity of just saying, oh, it's Afro merge. That's weird. Let's listen to what it is. So the reception has been, actually, I would say the reception has actually even been a lot better, in the sense that Americans are more perceptive, or they're more embracing of the weird or the strange.
Mm-hmm.
Being in Nigeria, when I went back, it's very different, in the sense that, the powers that be decide what people are going to listen to. And the powers that be are telling you, oh, your music is too different. People are not going to understand it. They're going to be so confused. And I remember asking, I was like, but you guys play foreign music on the radio. You play Cardi B, you play, Remy Ma, every single SZA, like, you guys play foreign music on the radio. So why is it such a big deal to play my music on the radio? Because I'm slightly different from typical Nigerian artists. And the response was, well, the difference is that you're Nigerian, and we know you're Nigerian, so you should go do what everybody else is doing.
The look. This is radio. This is radio. So I need, for those who are listening, it was classic black woman look. It was like, what?
Exactly. Me and my mom were sitting there and remember this conversation and this meeting, and we kind of just looked at each other like, okay, now it's a challenge. Now I have to be heard. Now I have to.
I'm interested in your mom receiving that and that motherly lioness thing coming up going, oh.
She talked about it from the beginning of my stay till the end. Every single time she turned on the radio, because, like I said, they play foreign music on the radio, and these people would criticize my music based on really weird things, like, oh, my music was too slow. But then they had Nigerian artists making slow music that was on the radio that was getting replay. My music was too this, but you would have Nigerian artists that were doing that. It was just about the fact that I was different, and they just couldn't, or they just didn't want to take it.
Wow. Well, you have shown them. You really have shown them something. And I love what you're doing for
I
young
love
women
that
as well.
that you're showing them because they told you couldn't.
Yes.
I mean, that's a wonderful way to be fueled is you can't, oh, yes, I can.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, I will. That's beautiful power, beautiful. It's taking a negative and turning it over and making it your
which
fuel
is the
and your
entire
positive.
point of Aja Butter, which is the entire message behind the album.
So you can rebel so beautifully.
I do.
And so eloquently.
I can.
You can say, no, I don't think so.
Really, with like a smile on my face.
Yeah, with a smile. With
like,
the
you're
dressed,
wrong.
And you're also a designer.
Yes, I am. I have a clothing line called Makan Gideon. And the clothing line actually came about when I would have performances and stuff here, and I would make all my stuff, and I would make my dancers' costumes. And then afterwards, people would ask
you are
me.
Something else.
She made her dancer's costume.
Oh, yeah. It's to make my dancers' costumes, and people would be like.
Did you choreograph your dancers too?
Well, I'm very involved in the literally, my team has to tell me to sit down. I'm kind of very involved in everything, but I'm also learning how to relinquish, control and allow other people, to shine and do what they're there to do. Only for me, it's just if I have like a specific vision or if I have a specific idea, I feel like I need to show you. Everybody on my team gets. When it's time for a video or whatever, you get aesthetic briefs with like references and the movies you should watch to the director, and it is insane.
You're doing the work. That's what it takes. You're not taking a lazy approach to your craft.
Right.
You are in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
We got a quick break. We're coming back. We are now on the continent. We're in the motherland, and we have a guest in the house, Marinike. I'm learning so much. I'm learning that you need to go get Aji Butter. Yes. It's on all platforms. Yes. And if you want to preview, go to SoundCloud. But you've got to purchase, and let's make a statement for this young lady's music and for Afro Merge. We've got more coming up for you. Only One Tippy is next. He's been sitting over there quiet in the cut, but he got something on his chest. He needs to get it off. So thank you for hanging in with the Purple. We've got more for you. Be right back on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. What's up, world? It's your girl, M. Love, host of Live Life in the Purple, this fabulous energy that comes to you every Tuesday from 2 to 4 on the IBNXradio.com network. Let me tell you who's in the room. To my left.
Hi, this is Marilyn Pierce, and I am the host of the segment Authors Speak, where we learn about authors and their journeys to entrepreneurism. And to my left, I have...
Hey, hello? Is this on? What's up, man? This your boy, Only One Tippy, associate producer with Live Life in the Purple, every Tuesday from 2 to 4.
And we do this every week because positivity is a movement, baby.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in.
It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
What's going on, everybody? This is Moody Black.
You're listening to M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby. Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging with the Purple. This is your girl M Love, and this is Team Purple, and this is how we get down on Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays. You know, I love music. I love live music. I have, there's a singer trapped inside of me. We haven't figured out the door yet, so she's just in there trapped. Because I hear stuff in my head, but you actually have brought not only your sound out, but you've produced an album, Aji Butter. And for those who are listening and not viewing us, that is AJEBUTTER. And it's an anthem. It is an anthem because this word is a slur in her country, but she took it and used it to build a beautiful tapestry of music that is rebellious but not. You got to listen to it to hear the rebellion. It's not like rock music was a rebellion, like,
right? Yeah,
and all of that. But your sound is, for me, it's neo soul kinda, but it's got so many other nuances in it. It's like a big
melting
stew.
pot.
Yeah, it's nice to listen to. The remixes have energy and have life, you know, and just takes you in a different direction. But I want to ask you, are there any favored American artists or independent artists that you'd like to do collaborations? Are you looking to do that?
I'm looking to do collaborations. I love so many. I love music. I love artists. Even if I don't listen or follow certain people's music, I identify with the struggle and you know how far they've come. You know, I love Tiana Taylor. I say it all the time. You know, I identify with that, trying to get out there, trying to, you know, have your music heard regardless of anything that's going on. I love that. You know, Sade would be a dream collaboration. Like, of course it's Sade. First of all, she's like the biggest Nigerian artist to ever do it, and I guess collaborating with Sade would just be like the ultimate accomplishment. You know, I love Kendrick Lamar, I love Lupe Fiasco. There are a whole bunch of different artists I love. Even we're working on a collaboration for the next single with a very popular Nigerian artist called Burna Boy, which he would be like the ultimate person now we're trying to get on the remix, and we're still going back and forth. Hopefully, Burna Boy, if you hear this, please feature on this song.
Is he a rapper or singer?
He's a rapper / singer. He does the singing rapping thing, but he does it like, you know, with Yoruba and the Nigerian languages.
Oh, wow.
and some patois and some pidgin. It's really, really interesting. But the reason why I identify with him so much is because he also came out with a different kind of music that they were doing at the time. So I felt like if I could get Burna Boy on my track, he's been able to make it doing something different. That would also be, you know, a big deal for me because that's the path that I would like to follow also.
But something else that caught my attention, and I wanted to reach out to your team to have you on.
Yes.
Your music addresses the image of Nigerians.
Yes.
As well. We're going to listen to a song in a little while called Giddy.
Yes.
And when I read the synopsis on it, I loved that you took a song because the press, the media has done a very good job of making us think that all the scams and things in the world originates in Nigeria.
Yes.
And so there's chatter about your your native land, who you are.
Yes.
And so you use your music to address that.
Yes.
Talk to us about that image.
Yes. So there's this it's a false narrative that Nigerian men, Nigerian people, are trying to always scam you or get a quick buck out of you or things to that effect. And when I wrote Giddy, the intention at the time was just to create a song that celebrated Lagos State in a different way. Because it's so funny because after I had my listening in Nigeria last December and I played Giddy, reporters came and asked me, well, there are tons of people who have music celebrating Lagos. Why do you want a song celebrating Lagos? And I'm like, well, because I'm the only one that can do this the way I can do it. I'm not going to sound like anybody else, the same way all those songs don't sound similar. But after having that conversation, that was when I really decided, okay, even though it's a song celebrating Lagos, it's a song celebrating, because the nickname for Lagos is Giddy, what exactly do I want to highlight in the video when we're making it? And I really thought about the fact that I wanted to highlight Nigerian people doing honest work. I wanted to highlight Nigerian men doing unglamorous, sometimes humiliating things just to provide for their families. And it's so funny because in the video we have this clown with a big booty and stuff, and like a lot of people were asking me, oh my god, why the clown and stuff. And it's because those clowns are really popular in Lagos, but it's an example of the lengths that some people are willing to go just so they're not scamming people. It's an example of the fact that this guy is willing to dress up and make a fool of himself and look crazy just so he's doing honest work. So that was the idea I wanted to highlight, Nigerians, because even when we were shooting the video, we had offers to do it like in a whole bunch of really cool places, clubs and lounges and all of these different things. And I was like, no, I wanted to shoot it on the streets of Lagos with people just doing basic, honest work.
I love it. I love it. It's the same thing like here in America, the African American narrative that people love to say we are, but you'll find people working hard, selling fruit by the street or standing to hold a sign, dancing, go to this store, and they could be selling drugs or they could be robbing your house.
Exactly.
So, but they choose to do honest work.
Yes.
To feed their family.
Yes.
So I like that idea. I think we're going to get right into the song, Giddy. Interesting, I just learned that Giddy is the nickname for Lagos. I didn't know that. And you've heard the synopsis of it. So let's listen to Giddy, and then we're going to go right into Only One Speaks, but the album is Ajibata. Yes. The artist is Marina K, Marenike.
A-E.
A-E, thank you. Marenikae. K-A-E.
Yes.
And it's all platforms, including Tidal.
Yes.
Everywhere you can get your copy, and you can keep in contact with Marina K because she's an Atlantean transplant, y'all. She's hanging out with the team today, and I know this won't be our last time seeing you. Of course. I promise. Let's go, Giddy.
Vex, but I bet I'm on no time. On to the next life. No stop, no quit. Watch this part one. There's nothing like a Friday night and toast to the good life. And I'm sipping on this honey light. No stop, no way. You're chilling with your suit and tie. Me and my girls lie. There's nothing like a Friday night. Cause I know get money there for mine. No time, no time. I got no time. Money there for mine. No stop, no quit. Watch this, let's go. No stop, no way. No vex, just flex. Stay ill, stay cool. Just move, just groove. No run, stay strong. Watch this part two. If you sweat for him, go hard, dream big, even work for him. No one could talk, say you never work for him. You say I no go blow, no go bro, no go show, no go no. But baby, don't you know? I know get no time. Money day for mine. Woo. Cause I know get money day for mine. No time, no time. I got no time. I stay on my grind. No vex, just flex, stay ill, stay cool. You deep in my life. for mine. He's that kitty good life. See, he's that kitty good life. I stay on my grind, 'cause kitty did for mine. It stays on my mind, giddy all the time. I day on mine, she you did for your giddy day mine. She be it day your, 'cause I know get money day for mine. No time, no time. I got no time. Giddy day for mine. No stop, no quit. Watch this, let's go. The time I took, I do not lie. I do not doubt about you lie. 'Cause giddy day, yes we day. You know we don't play. Giddy day for
Hi, this is Aaliyah. I listen to Live Life in the Purple with M Love and Team Purple on IBNX Radio Network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you urgent news. This just in.
That's my pleasure. Hey, sit down. Man, I'm on house arrest. I ain't supposed to be over here. Hey, what time is it?
I want you to put your hands together and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause for Jackson Heights' own.
Only one Tippy.
That boy is good. Mm-hmm. Good and terrible. When can I start?
Immediately.
And you know this, man.
Yes, y'all. We are back again for another week, not only of Live Life in the Purple, not only of more IBNXradio.com, but more of my ignorance here on Only One Speaks. Now, we do have to start off with some sad news. The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. No, we are not related, even though we have the last name. I would love to lie to y'all and say we are, but we are not. The Queen was born on March 25th, 1942, and she passed away August 16th, 2018. So she was 76 years young. And I just want to kind of go down the list and show you, actually not show you, but tell you all of her accomplishments throughout her career, which she had 42 studio albums recorded, 42, 6 live albums, 45 compilation albums, and 131 singles, which one of my favorite, You Make Me Feel, okay, I know it sounds bad, but Natural Woman. I love that song, and my other song is Respect. So all the millennials out there, just know, before Birdman said put some respect on my name, Aretha Franklin was the first one to say put some respect on my name. And Al Sharpton, I seen what you did, the tribute. We love it, my brother, but respect is spelled R-E-S-P-E-C-T, not R-E-S-P-I-C-T. Okay? We love you, Al Sharpton. Next, salute the 2 Chainz. Yes, not former, but Atlanta rapper, former name Titty Boy, now 2 Chainz, was recently married in Miami to his longtime girlfriend. Salute the 2 Chainz. I don't know why we wait till we're about 50, 60 to get married, men, but hey, we got to do a little better. And salute also, again, we have some more good news coming out of hip-hop. Kodak Black was recently released from prison after serving a 1-year bid. So Kodak, we believe you're going to come back and do the right thing, my brother. We love you. And Jay Reed, Nicki Minaj. Last night, Nicki won an award for the VMAs. So salute to Jay Reed, salute to Nicki Minaj. He brought back the Moon Man to Stone Mountain. That's what I'm talking about. And also in other news, Vic Mensa, he is a Chicago recording artist. Recently in Chicago, a lot of stuff been going on, with the killings. But not only that, the police had the nerve, y'all, to put a bait truck in the hood. Listen again. The police put a bait truck of some shoes, Nikes, Jordans, whatever, in the hood, thinking our good citizens of Chicago was going to walk right past them. No. Nah, bro, we need some new shoes. So a lot of people got arrested that weekend for falling for the bait truck. But Vic Mensa is actually doing an organized sneaker giveaway following the police bait truck operation to lure potential thieves. So salute to you, Vic Mensa. That's how you do it. Instead of trying to trap people, let's just help them. What's wrong with that? So now that we got through everything, I want to go back to the Queen. I want to start it and end it with the Queen. So Aretha Franklin, I'm going to just give y'all a little few pointers about Aretha Franklin. She taught herself how to play the piano despite not knowing how to read music. Another thing about Aretha Franklin, she was the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She also performed for 3 U.S. presidential inaugurations: Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and our forever president, Barack Obama. And another one, Miss Aretha Franklin voice was declared a national resource by Michigan legislature in 1986, the year I was born. And not last but not least, because I got like 3 more. She traveled with Martin Luther King when she was a teenager and later gave a soulful performance at his funeral. She walked alongside MLK. That's powerful. Not only that, she received the Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award and was named Rolling Stone's greatest singer of all time. Greatest singer of all time, that is a huge, huge, huge deal, period. And last but not least, she had the most entries on the Billboard Hot 100 by a female artist and held that record for 40 years straight. Now, when we use the word queen, this is what we mean. This is a true queen. So salute to you, Aretha Franklin. I thank you for all you have done, not just for the culture, but for the world. You've touched many people, whether you know it or not. And again, put some respect on her name. She is a natural woman. And Al Sharpton, it is spelled R-E-S-P-E-C-T, my brother. We love you. This has been another week of Only One Speaks. Live Life in the Purple, IBNXradio.com network. Y'all already know what time it is. We about to get back in these purple vibes. So thank y'all again for tuning in. And next week, I'll be here with some more ignorance from yours truly, Only One Tippy. I love y'all. Thank you.
Hey, this is Janine from Far Rock, New York, and you're listening to Live Life in the Purple with my girl, M Love, on the IBNXradio.com network. Spread nothing but positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Only One. Yeah, it was a sad day in music. I think we need to go ahead and bubble wrap the rest of the legends that we got. Somebody need to take them to some island.
We're going to shrink wrap them, duct tape them to the wall.
We need to keep them. So this has been an amazing show. But before we say goodbye, I've got a couple of things for you. I've got one more thing for Miss Marinike, as in Veronica. Marinike. You didn't get your speak on it.
Okay.
Speak on it. Pain will push you from where you are to where you need to be. Speak on it.
Man. Okay. So, funny story. I have arthritis in my knees, and I perform in high heels, and I'm in rehearsals in high heels for 6 hours sometimes. And every single time I start to feel the pain, it literally makes me angry and I want to go harder. So I completely identify with that because especially over the past year or so, I've been dealt with a lot of health issues. And I've had to a lot of times go straight from the hospital to performances and to interviews and go back and all of that stuff. So that is the statement I can completely identify with because every time I have to do that, every time I feel bad, every time I feel sick, it makes me want to be better and to I guess, push myself. Another thing I can also align with that statement is the fact that because I decided I want to be an artist later than most people around me, most people have been doing it since they were kids. Because of that, I know that I'm behind. I kind of force myself to do things on a daily basis that they probably don't have to do because they've been used to doing it. when I first started performing and stuff, and the idea of performing in high heels, I've literally worn high heels every single day for the past 4 years.
Now my back hurts.
Just so I can be on par with my dancers and the people around me who've been doing it since they were
You
kids.
remember, Destiny Child's story. Their dad used to make them jog in heels.
Oh yeah.
And stuff. And
Yeah.
he created. I mean, she wouldn't be where she is. Her own natural, instincts took over.
Yes.
And she's just that.
But every time I'm in pain, I feel like, okay, I've done it. I feel accomplished. Every time I have to go back home and crawl up my stairs or whatever and lay in bed or lay in the salt bath, I lay in my salt bath like this. Completely woosad, because the pain literally makes me feel like, okay, I'm working as hard as I possibly can.
I'm so glad you're not an athlete. You would take over the game. That is a winning mind.
I think she would take over any
game, which is why you have favor on you.
Amen. Thank you.
So I'd like to thank our guest, Sandy Pruitt. She had to leave traffic. She came up here on this. The efforts that people make to come up here, it humbles me. I thank you guys so much. So look out for the Trinity Awards. Also, SC Pruitt Consulting Agency. She has love for nonprofits. She has love for people. Look her up. And I just appreciate her so much. Also, another shout out to Octavia Bostic of Bostic and Associates. She's another person that I've never met, but we have an email relationship, and I got her information, and that's how we have Marina cut in here today. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Nourish your relationships with people.
Yes.
Nourish them. They get you where you need to be, and we can help each other. So I just appreciate you. Remember, I will, if you want to see me out, next time you'll see me will be in Alabama for my feature. Thank you so much, Peerless Poetry. Also, Chronicles of Hope is coming to Atlanta September 14th and 15th. So we will be on the Emory campus those nights doing our thing and giving our give back. Anybody else has any announcements? I know only one had an amazing experience this weekend.
Working. Yes, salute to, first off, I want to say thank you to Trisha Clark, the CEO of IBNXradio.com network, because she actually got me in touch with this TV pilot called The Recording Booth. I was on the first episode. We shot it Saturday, I think. Mm-hmm. And then after that, salute to Camila Montgomery as well as M. Love for inviting me on a casting call for a play that's coming up. Details to be announced later. And salute to my brother Jay Reed, my high school alumni. We was in the studio that night cooking up, working on some tracks for I Can't Tell Y'all. But just know we got a lot of work coming along with, the new single out, Down and Dirty, which does not have anything to do with Live Life in the Purple. Let's make that clear, because I'm doing it for the fellas. That's an anthem. And also salute to Jay Mazur. We have Main Girl out now featuring Zoe Dollar. And his project Vibes is coming out, which we work heavy on, still working on to this day. So we got some magic coming for y'all. And I'm going to put this out there on air. We need to work together.
Oh, yes.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes.
All right.
I have evidence I said yes.
All right.
Marilyn, you've got a project that you've been cooking up. PDC, that's our company, Purple Door Creations.
Purple Door Creations. I am writing a book. It is along the lines of social activism to support medical cannabis here in Georgia, working with Rashawn Hodge, Dr. Rashawn Hodge, and moving forward on getting people the option to use medical cannabis as an option for everything that it can help with.
If you need help getting your card, you should have a card. It is an easy process to get. We can help you. This crew can help you, or you can reach out to the doctor himself, Rashawn, R-A-S-E-A-N-T Hodge.
And he's located off Boulevard in downtown Atlanta, really close to the zoo, Atlanta Zoo. So go to his office, check him out. Incredible doctor, pain doctor. He's just all around healer.
He's helped me. Yeah. He's helped us.
He's helped me a lot. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah. So we love you. We love you guys. We do this for you. We could be doing so many other things. But the live show, aren't we glad to be back in the studio?
We're glad to be here, yes.
Yeah. And when will we be back live again?
First Tuesday in September, whatever that may be.
Yeah. And that's a big show. We will have another performer in studio. He was Grammy-nominated. Drake.
Oh, Drake. Oh man.
He was nominated for a Grammy, or did he get a Grammy? He was
I really
one of the
don't
scores
know,
on.
but I know he definitely has a platinum plaque for the record with
Purple Lamborghini.
Yeah, Purple Lamborghini with Skrillex and Rick Ross.
Yeah.
So, and along with a whole list of other accomplishments. Let's get that out there. But salute to Drake, the beats. Drake, we ready for you, man.
Yeah, so he'll be in studio with me. That's a special week for me. So that's leading up to my big day. And yeah, so if not, you'll find us online when we'll put shows out there that we've pre-recorded, but we'll be back in studio on that September 1st.
And before I forget,
yeah,
salute to Dusty. We gotta always give Dusty some love.
Dusty is his dad.
He's the centerpiece. So salute to Dusty, always showing support. And bringing Drake not only to us but into the world.
Yeah, and you came to me through Dusty.
Yes.
And Dusty wrote the track for your Live
theme
Life in
song.
the Purple
That's
theme
right.
song.
This is
Like-
family.
Like
this is
father,
love.
like son. That's right.
This
It's
whole
all
show
connected.
is all love. Hey, y'all got some homework to do. Support Ajibata, okay? Support Sandy Pruitt at the non-profit Trinity Awards. Stay in touch with this team. We are moving. We're always moving, and we're always moving in the direction of positivity. We do this every week. Why? Positivity. It's a movement, baby. We out.
Only one. Tidbit. Yeah. Did you enjoy the show? We appreciate y'all tuning in again. Yeah. And again. Yeah. And again. Yeah. Let's go. I hope M Love touched your soul and gave you more. We live every Tuesday from 2 to 4. Led by a strong black woman, Team Purple. A long time coming. Patience is a virtue. The best show, the best guests, the best topics. IBNX Radio, the best rocket. Rock solid, a lot of knowledge. Pay homage. Live life in the purple, taking off like a rocket. Only one. Yeah. Tidbit. Yeah. IBNXradio.com. IBNXradio.com. IBNX Radio.